3 years. That's how long Alex Eala waited for this moment. 3 years of carrying a loss that never fully left her. 3 years of replaying every rally, every missed opportunity, every match point that slipped away in Hangzhou. And on July 27, 2026, standing inside a packed stadium in Washington, D.C., flags waving, an entire nation holding its breath, she finally got it back. She defeated Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen, and the place absolutely lost its mind. But before we get to the fireworks, let's go back to where the story really starts. September 2023, the Hangzhou Asian Games. An 18-year-old Alex Eala, ranked 190th in the world, walks onto the Olympic Tennis Center court to face the tournament's top seed, a dominant, fearless Zheng Qinwen, in front of thousands of roaring Chinese fans. Nobody gave Eala a chance. Nobody, it seemed, except Eala herself. What followed was nearly 3.5 hours of pure drama. She saved match points. She clawed her way into a third set. She pushed the future Olympic champion to the absolute edge. Zheng pulled through 6-1, 6-7, 5-6, 3. But something remarkable had happened. Eala was the only player in that entire tournament to take a set off the Chinese star. She lost the match, but she earned respect. And she used that pain as rocket fuel. Fast forward to today. The woman who walked off that court in Hangzhou is almost unrecognizable, not in character, but in stature. Eala has since climbed to a career-high world number 28. She's taken down defending Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek on center court. She's beaten Elena Rybakina and Elina Svitolina back-to-back in Berlin. She's no longer a name people remember from a tough loss. She's a name people fear. And Zheng, the Olympic gold medalist who once seemed untouchable, has hit a rough patch. A right elbow injury after Wimbledon 2025 forced surgery and sent her tumbling out of the top 100. First-round exits at both the French Open and Wimbledon followed. Her current ranking sits at 123, a far cry from the world number 4 she once was. But don't mistake vulnerability for weakness. Zheng arrived in D.C. off a solid quarterfinal run at the Athens Open the week prior, showing genuine flickers of the player who won gold in Paris. She was hungry. She had nothing to lose. And that's exactly what made her dangerous. The stage. The $164 million Mubadala DC Open, a WTA 500 event at the William H.G. Fitzgerald Tennis Center. The date, July 27, 2026, 2 p.m. Eastern. The crowd, overwhelmingly, thunderously, unmistakably Philippine flags stretched from corner to corner. Chants of "Eala, Eala" rolled through the stadium like waves. Fans had traveled from New York, Virginia, Maryland, some from even further, just to be in that building on that afternoon. Days earlier, hundreds had already mobbed her practice session, crowding outside the court just to catch a glimpse. One fan shouted through the fence, "We are so proud of her! Keep going, Alex!" A young supporter added quietly, "I don't even play tennis, but I love the way she fights." That was just practice. What happened during the actual match was something else entirely. From the very first point, it was clear this was a different Eala. Sharper, calmer, more dangerous. She studied Zheng's serve, once a weapon that overwhelmed opponents, and read it like a book. Both players started cautiously, feeling the moment, searching for rhythm. Then came the breakthrough. Fifth game of the first set. Eala breaks. The stadium erupts. But Zheng, of course, doesn't go quietly. She breaks right back, 3-all. The momentum swings, the crowd tightens. For a moment, it feels like Hangzhou all over again, a battle of nerves, a war of wills, neither player willing to blink first. Then at 4-4, Eala simply goes up a gear. Her ground strokes get heavier. Her footwork gets crisper. Her decision-making becomes almost surgical. She rips a backhand down the line that freezes Zheng completely. Breaks again, serves it out. First set, Eala, 6-4. The Filipino section of the stadium sounds like a concert. The second set is where champions are made or broken. Zheng lifts her level dramatically. Her serve gets bigger. Her forehand turns aggressive, bullying Eala back behind the baseline. She breaks, then extends to a 4-2 lead. The nerves in the crowd are palpable. But here is what you need to understand about Alex Eala in 2026. She has been in this exact place before. She saved match points against Swiatek. She came from a set down against Rybakina. This is not someone who folds under pressure. This is someone who was built for it. I believe in myself a lot, and that's a core value, she had said before the tournament. It's one of the foundations of my mentality and how I approach my competitions. She breaks back immediately, then holds, then breaks again. 5-4, and now she's serving for the match. The tension is almost physical. Zheng saves one match point, then a second. She is fighting with everything she has, every drop of the Olympic champion that lives inside her. Eala glances up to her team in the stands, takes a breath, bounces on her heels, steps up to the line, serve out wide. Zheng floats back a weak return. Eala steps in and absolutely crushes a forehand winner down the line. The stadium erupts. Alex Eala defeats Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen 6-4, 6-4. 1 hour and 42 minutes. Done. Her team leaps to their feet. Flags swirl everywhere. Fans embrace strangers, tears streaming down their faces, screaming at the top of their lungs. For them, this wasn't a tennis match. This was vindication. This was a declaration. This was proof that their girl belonged at the very top of this sport. Former US Open champion Andy Roddick had already seen it coming. Just before the tournament, he spoke about Eala on his podcast with unmistakable enthusiasm. Eala mania is fun. I'm sorry. When you have watch parties in arenas around your country for a fourth-round match, I'm in. He called what she'd built a movement, a genuine, passionate wave of new tennis fans who didn't exist a couple of years ago, brought in entirely through the force of one player's personality and belief. On this July afternoon in Washington, that movement had a face, a flag, and a scoreline. Now let's talk about what this win actually means in cold, hard numbers, because the story gets even more exciting here. Eala enters the DC Open ranked 29th in the world, just one spot off her career best. But here's what makes her situation extraordinary. She's defending just 70 ranking points for the entire North American hardcourt swing. Washington, Toronto, Cincinnati, and the US Open combined. That is almost absurdly low for a player at her level. In practical terms, every point she earns from here forward is pure profit, pure gain, pure climb. A quarterfinal finish in DC alone would net her 108 points, more than her entire North American haul last year. A semifinal delivers 195, a final appearance earns 325, and a title, 500 points. Life-changing numbers. Consider this, just 163 points separate Eala from the world's top 25. One deep run in Washington could put her there, maybe even into the top 20, a landmark she has never reached in her career and one that suddenly looks very, very possible. The US Open seeding cutoff lands on August 24th. Eala is already safely inside the top 32. But a seed in the top 16, the top 8, those aren't fantasies anymore. They're calculations. Her next challenge, either defending DC Open champion Leylah Fernandez or Magda Linette in the second round. Fernandez, the 2021 US Open finalist, left-handed athletic, battle-tested, would be a serious test. But Eala has proven repeatedly that serious tests don't scare her. She's beaten Swiatek. She's beaten Rybakina, Svitolina, Paulini, Keys, Goff. She just knocked off an Olympic gold medalist. Fernandez is formidable. She's not unbeatable, not anymore. Eala's grass court season alone tells you everything about her current level. 12 wins from 16 matches, a title in Birmingham, a semifinal in Berlin, a historic fourth-round finish at Wimbledon, where she became the first Filipino singles player ever to reach that stage of a Grand Slam, and did it by eliminating the defending champion. This is not a player riding a lucky streak. This is a player who has figured something out. I do not have a specific round where I say, oh, I really need to be at this stage, Eala has explained. The way I approach any tournament is to take it match by match, round by round. I want to get as far as I possibly can. The ultimate goal is to win. That mindset is rare, and right now, paired with this level of tennis, it's dangerous. 3 years ago, a teenage Eala walked off a court in Hangzhou with a loss on her record and a knot in her chest. She didn't quit. She didn't shrink. She quietly tucked that memory somewhere deep and went to work, building, improving, believing, even when the results hadn't fully caught up to the belief yet. On July 27, 2026, she finally exorcised that ghost. She won 6-4, 6-4, in front of thousands of Filipino supporters who had crossed state lines to witness it. She added 30 more ranking points to her tally. She sent a message, not just to Zheng, not just to the DC Open field, but to the entire tennis world. Alex Eala is not a Wimbledon story. She is not a flash-in-the-pan moment that the sport got lucky enough to witness once. She is a force. She is a movement. She is 127 million people standing behind one person with a racket and an unshakable belief in herself. I believe in myself a lot, she said. It's one of the foundations of my mentality. The North American swing is wide open. The rankings are within reach. The history books are waiting, and Alex Eala, she's just getting started.